Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of WP the Podcast. I'm David Blackman.
And I'm Tim Streifler.
Today, we're going to talk about one of our favorite themes that Tim and I absolutely love. We've built businesses around it, and it eventually, when we started using this thing, we had no idea how super awesome and powerful it was going to be, nor did we know that it was going to become the number one WordPress theme in the world for quite a long time. And that is the Divi theme. And you hear a lot of things about page builders in general, and Divi is a page builder. And one of them is, oh, don't use a page builder. They're bloated. They're slow. They load super slow, and that's going to kill your retention and your customer and your bounce rate and all this stuff. And so, Tim, is Divi a bloated WordPress theme in 2022?
That is an excellent question. Short answer is no, and I'll explain why. As David mentioned, a lot of people kind of hate on page builders. A lot of really kind of hardcore purist developers that are coders and stuff. They want everything to be as lean and clean as possible and hand coded and stuff. Obviously, people that are using page builders, they love the power and flexibility and the no code solution that page builders provide. And so that's why we use them. But anytime you were adding more features to a theme, more functionality, more options, you're essentially, quote unquote, bloating the theme with more code, because anytime there's a feature, there's going to be more code that goes along with it. And so, people kind of define bloat in different ways, but basically, essentially, code bloat is when there is a lot of extra code in a theme or a plugin that you can't get around, right? Like it's there, and whether you use it or not, it's getting loaded, right? That's essentially what code bloat is. And so that's a bad thing in general, because if you are creating a simple site or you're creating a really complex site, the website's going to be loading all the same code on the front end. It gets loaded no matter what, traditionally. However, with Divi, that is no longer the case. They had a massive performance update last year. Was that last? Yeah, it was last year,
Yeah, it was
2021.
last year. Mm-hmm.
And now everything in Divi is dynamic. So if you have a very simple page and you're only using text modules and blurb modules and call to action modules, then that's all that's going to get loaded on the page. Divi is going to dynamically, intelligently only load the code for the modules that you're using, and only load the corresponding CSS and JavaScript for those modules that you're using. All the other stuff, all the other features, it's not going to load the code on that page. So it does it on a per page basis. You don't have to do anything. It's automatic. You don't have to turn stuff off if you're not using it. It just knows that, hey, this page uses these modules, so we're only going to load the CSS JavaScript for these modules, and we're only going to do the database queries that's needed to execute those modules, that sort of thing. So super powerful, right? But it goes beyond that. It's not just with the CSS and JavaScript. It's actually or with the modules. It's actually with other features too. So for example, if you're not using any of the really snazzy animations, well, it's not going to load the code for those animations, all that CSS code for those animations. So everything is broken down and compartmentalized essentially, and it's only loaded if you're actually using it on the page. Yeah. And it's super powerful, because now Divi is no longer bloated, essentially. So the short answer is Divi bloated? No, it's not, because it loads everything dynamic. So even though you have all that customization ability at your fingertips, all those modules at your fingertips, all those design tools at your fingertips, if you're not using it, it's not going to load it. And so that is huge. And so Divi is now very fast out of the box. Doesn't mean you still don't want to have good hosting. It doesn't mean you still don't want to have a caching plugin and different optimizations. Those are just good practice. And that only affects the Divi stuff. If you still load, 50 plugins on your site, well, it's going to slow down your site, because Divi isn't going to load all of that plugin code dynamically. It only does it for the Divi stuff. But yeah, Divi is no longer a bloated WordPress thing because of the massive performance overhaul that Elegant Themes did last year.
Awesome. Well, that's great news. um, yeah, because you hear that all the time. Oh, it's slow and this and that, and people just fear mongering, and they're not understanding how things are these days and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty powerful, and it just keeps getting better and better. I don't think we're going back to any of the old way of doing WordPress back in the day. I think page builders are here to stay. They're going to be, because they're so easy to use for non-developers. They're just intuitive, drag and drop, easy peasy. And that's the way the world is going. So everybody's going to be on the web. If you're not, hopefully you're getting on there soon. So yeah, it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So them improving that feature was huge.
Yeah.
All right. Tomorrow we've got another great topic. Tim, until tomorrow, we'll see you then.
Take care. Bye-bye.